Have you been in a neighborhood or an HOA where you got a fine for leaving the trash can outside or parking the car on the street and you didn't get a written notice? HOA. Love them or hate them, but they have a big impact on how we live. Make sure you stick around till the end because there is one change coming that could change how you live in your own home. Today, we're gonna dive into what is happening with homeowners associations here in Middle Georgia, specifically in Warner Robins. There are some changes that you need to know about. And let me tell you, some of them might surprise you. Let's dive in. Let's talk about HOAs. Whether you already live in a neighborhood with an HOA or you're thinking about purchasing a home and moving into a neighborhood with an HOA, understanding the rules and how they affect you as homeowner is crucial. In the state of Georgia, there have been some specific laws and trends that have been gaining a bunch of attention recently. And Warner Robins, as Middle Georgia's most rapidly growing area, is in the thick of it. First things first. What are the basics? Georgia state laws actually give a lot, and I mean a lot of power to HOAs. But there are some protections in place for you as homeowner in a homeowners association. For example, did you know that by Georgia law, an HOA cannot just write you up and fine you for any reason out there? They have to give you written notice that you are in violation of the restrictions and the covenants and have to give you a time to fix the problem that they want so desperately fine you for. So no more fines just because you left the trash can out overnight. So what are your thoughts on that law? Have you been in a neighborhood or an HOA where you got a fine for leaving the trash can outside or parking the car on the street and you didn't get a written notice? Let me know in the comments below and let me know if that is actually a law that helps homeowners in homeowners associations. So let's break down some of the most important laws and rules that you have to know about when dealing with an HOA in Warner Robins or anywhere in the state of Georgia. One hot topic, of course, is parking restrictions. Under Georgia law, HOAs cannot, and they cannot, by law, stop you from parking your personal vehicle in your driveway. And I know that sounds bizarre, but it is happening all over the country where people are getting fined or notified that they can't park their car or have their car always parked in the driveway. By law in Georgia, HOA, no luck. You cannot restrict the homeowner from parking their personal vehicle in the driveway. Now, that doesn't mean that you can park your massive RV, fifth wheel, or a trailer in your driveway. But a work truck with a company logo? Well, let me tell you, the HOAs cannot tell you to move your work truck with a work logo anymore. HOA. It's prohibited by law. You can't. It's not a personal vehicle, but it's a work truck. And you cannot tell the homeowner to move the work truck anymore. And it has been a massive issue with HOAs across the nation and within Georgia. That problem is solved because, HOA, no luck. And this is huge for a lot of people who got fined just because they had their work truck with the company logo parked in their driveway. Does that sound familiar to anyone out there? Drop a comment below and let me know what headaches you had with your HOA so far. But it's not just about parking. Let's talk about some new changes that are surely shaking things up right now. First of all, we got the 2-week notice before fines. Yes, HOAs cannot just fine you anymore. They have to give you a 2-week written notice before enforcing any penalties. So no more ugly surprises when it comes to fines in an HOA. Number 2, homeowners' privacy. Yes, people, it's very important because HOAs cannot use aerial footage such as drones or any kind of aerial surveillance, I would say, to monitor your property. Your backyard is your backyard. It is your privacy, period. Number 3 is new home construction rules within the HOA. And that doesn't only apply to you building a new home, but even renovating a home. Yes, HOAs can go by the standards of the community, but they have to be very careful now to not overstep their boundary. New rulings are 2-week notice before fines, homeowners' privacy, and new home construction rules that also apply to renovations on your home, and they can go within the community standards, but they have to be very careful not to overstep that boundary, because then there could be some litigation between homeowners and homeowners association. Now let's address the elephant in the room. How do you actually deal with an HOA that is completely out of control? And we've seen it on YouTube, on the news, that there are numerous HOAs across the country that went crazy. So how do you deal with those HOAs? In the state of Georgia, if you feel like the HOA is acting unfairly or is stepping beyond their legal limits, you do have options. For example, here in Georgia, you can file a complaint with the Georgia Department of Law's Consumer Protection Division, and in some cases, you can even file legal actions against the HOA. But before you go that route of litigation, you always want to try to resolve all the issues within the community. But it's also good for you as homeowners in an HOA to know that you do have the options to file a complaint with the Georgia Department of Law's Consumer Protection Division, or if you have the legal ground, just go the litigation round if you want to. But try to solve it within the community first. Because after all, to be honest, those are your neighbors we're talking about. Remember, not all HOAs are bad. In fact, many HOAs do a great job keeping up property values and keeping the neighborhood clean, beautiful, and safe. But for you as homeowners in an HOA, it's always important to be informed and proactive so you can protect your rights and enjoy your neighborhood and your home to the fullest. Before we wrap up, here's a question for you. Have you ever had issues with an HOA? How did you deal with those issues? Let me know your story in the comments below. I live in HOA and I had some issues which I share with you in the comments as well. But I want to hear your story. What is your story? What do you think about the new changes that an HOA cannot just walk over your rights? Let me know if you maybe moved out of an HOA because of issues, or if you still think HOA is a good thing. I hope this video was informative, it helped you, or you enjoyed it. If so, smash that like button, leave me a comment, share it with someone who might need to know this about HOAs, and I hope to see you in the next video.